Hello everyone, I'm NewlifeOP. With me I have an okay, so I've been playing Dishonored 2 for quite a long time. By that I mean I got
like
Dishonored.
Straight.
Well, yeah, about a month straight.
We both have.
Yes. Well, that doesn't not inherit issues that I have with Delilah Copperspoon, i.e. Delilah Caldwin, quotes in the air, Caldwin. Not really. Okay, so, I have issues with this character. Because throughout the game, she's like, oh, I got marked by the outsider, marked by the outsider, and she pretty much just tells anyone with ears attached to their head. And she will tell everyone, she brags about it, she flaunts it, she won't shut up about it. And the outsider, he hasn't mentioned it. So, was she really marked by the outsider? Because, let's be honest, if she was, why the fuck is she wearing gloves? If she was marked by the outsider, she'd be flaunting that fucking mark to anyone with eyes. In fact, she would like carve eyes out of people's fucking heads to say, look at it, look at it. Because that's kind of her mentality, is like, hey, I did this. I got marked. Marked, blah, 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 mark. Hey, I got marked. However, it actually says on the fucking wiki that it says claimed she's marked by the outsider. However, one is not visible. Now, when the outsider... So what the outsider is involved with this is he makes no comments on it. He says that she's cunning, that when she drifted through the void and should have been lost forever, until she
found the place of his
birth.
Yes.
And then she tapped into it.
Somehow. Still.
Well, I mean, she is a witch innately to begin with. And, however, that's all he says is that, she's cunning. He never actually says, oh yeah, I did mark her. Granted, he never really says something like that out front, considering he's very, very cryptic. However, when you kill Paolo, well, a hand will start crawling out, and then Corvo is like, oh, it's Granny Rags' hand. And when you go into the shrine, Outsider himself says he found a hand of a witch I once knew. Or I knew once. Dyslexia fucking sucks. Anyway. He flat out says that, that I knew once, or that I once knew, and he, implies that he marked them. However, when it comes to Delilah, he avoids the subject.
With a 50-foot pole.
Yes, with
and he only touches it with his pinky toe.
Not even that. He fucking just stays away from that whole swimming pool, and he goes to, I don't know, a different state? Country. Ocean.
World.
Yeah, and he's just like, fuck you guys, I'm going to chill over here on Saturn with that subject. So my question is, yes, Delilah is magical. Yes, she possesses some magical powers. However, does she possess marked powers? Not really.
She just possesses the witch powers.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, witch powers. Okay, so in the wiki it says that the void, in essence, is the source of all magic. And in the first game, he himself says that forces that men call magic. So the void itself is deprived of magic, pretty much just the source of magic for his particular world. Well, you know what I mean. Universe, etc. However, when it comes to Delilah, she claims, oh, I'm marked by the outsider. Well, if that's the case, why aren't you flaunting it? Because that is your personality. That is your mentality.
You basically already do that with words anyway.
Exactly. You're just, like, rubbing it in their faces. You're just, like, saying, eat it. And you're just, like, Delilah's just, like, has words in her hands and she's forcing them down people's throat. Well, if she actually had the mark, oh my hell, she would be doing that with her hand, and she would not be wearing gloves to cover something up. Possibly the fact that she doesn't actually have the mark. Now, yes, she does have powers. However, it is innately 100% physically possible that she is tapping into a void by some other means. Like, there's this guy. And there was this one guy, I can't pronounce his name, but he found the knife that was used to sacrifice the outsider, carved the outsider's mark into his hand, and was able to have certain abilities. Is it 100% possible that Delilah did something similar? Yes. Considering that her life was so fucking deranged and more or less living on the street, it is 100% possible that she literally dreamt this. Maybe she thinks, like, honestly thinks that she was marked by the outsider, and the outsider did not actually mark her.
She's deranged enough to believe it.
Yeah, perhaps she lied to herself enough that she believes it, and why she wears gloves is because she doesn't want to see the fact that she doesn't actually have the mark. Now, in her mind, it is 100% possible that she was still marked, just not physically seen. However, yeah, I know I've said this about 1,000 fucking times, but she literally mocks everyone. She mocks everyone every chance she gets, bragging to everyone that will listen that she was marked by the outsider. See, the thing is that bugs me is that, you know, oh, yeah, well, she does have powers. Well, did you not hear the outsider? When the outsider drags you, literally drags you, to the void to tell you about Delilah. He says that she wandered through the void, should have been lost forever, until she stumbled across his birthplace, found a way to draw from it, and more or less became a part of him. Now, this does not mean that he marked her. This just means that she now draws power directly from the outsider himself. And that's why she was able to take Corvo's mark. Because she's part of the outsider, so I don't think she can necessarily give the mark.
No.
But can she take it? Absolutely. I mean, it was obviously that, yeah, she did it in the beginning, so it's obviously canon that is possible. But, yeah, I just have issues with her. I think mostly because the fact that she kind of tapped in to the outsider, and the outsider's like, she's a part of me now, and I don't like it. And the outsider is very, very forward about it. And he's never forward about anything. He speaks cryptically, let me tell you. You know, he suggests things. He's like, oh, why don't you do this? For no reason in particular. I'm just saying. But when it comes to Delilah, he flat out says, like, I don't fucking like this. Well, he doesn't say that, obviously. But he says, I don't like this. So, the fact that she's a part of him, oh, and he kind of suggests, I find this kind of amusing, but he kind of has sort of a mocky tone about her, and kind of suggests that okay, so he literally gives Corvo the fucking instruction manual on how to kill Delilah. Now, does he say, oh, I want you to kill her? No. But he says more than once, if you want to kill Delilah, I'm not saying you have to, but if you want to, if you really, really want to, here's how you do it. So,
here's the 5-page instruction manual, and here's all the ingredients you need too.
Yep. So, yeah, it's like, oh, and by the way, her soul's over here. The heart you carry, yeah, you're gonna have to deal with that. Not gonna tell you what that is, so he's cryptic about that. But here's the instruction manual if you want to kill Delilah. I'm just saying.
100%.
You don't have to.
But
if you want to, here's the instruction manual. So, yeah, that whole thing. So he subtly kind of hints it that he flat out says, oh, I don't like it. Subtly hints it. So if you want to kill her, not saying you have to, but if you want to, yeah, so he doesn't like it, but never once does he say, yes, you know, I did mark her. And that's why I got issues with her. And that's why after I found out where she was in the boss map, I'm gonna do a quick little thing where I show you guys a tutorial on where she is, because it's like, oh my god, that's where she was this whole time? Excuse me. Anyway, kind of rage killed her.
You kind of rage overkilled her.
Well, I really don't like Delilah, and not because she took the throne. Honestly, I would not care if she just walked in, took the throne, and kicked everyone out. It is the fact that she pissed off the outsider and became a part of him. Didn't really necessarily piss him off, but became a nuisance, annoyance. Became a part of him in a way that he never intended, never wanted, and never ever
thought could happen.
Yeah, pretty much that. I kind of have this weird fangirl overprotective thing about the outsider, and I respect him. I don't know how to finish that sentence. Anyway, I respect him so much to the fact that Delilah more or less disrespected him and just became a part of him. And not only that, let's be honest, she used the outsider's power to fuel her coven. I have issues with that. Because she just pretty much used the outsider as a source of power, not as the outsider. By the way, what's the outsider's name when he's still human? I don't know. I really want to know, though. And what is his, thing about whales and how people...
Why is he associated
with whales and the Leviathan? I know! But he is considered, more than once, in the first game especially, that he is deemed as the Leviathan, and he has a thing about whales, and I really want to know why. I even tweeted on Twitter asking about it. Of course, I never got a reply, but that didn't stop me from asking. Anyway. So I honestly, 100% believe that Delilah was never marked by the outsider. Why do you only, copy me?
I don't know, because you don't allow any input, that's why.
I suppose that is a good reason. Anyway, so this is NewlifeOP 586 signing out, and I don't believe the outsider actually marked Delilah, and it's just all in her head, and she kind of just went batshit. So, that happened.
It's like a Delic dream in the void.
she was a bit too high on, you know, there really is, a weed type of thing. You can hear them over talking about it in the Duke's Palace, but, they smoke it and they get high, and anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. But, yeah. Was she really marked by the outsider? Hell no. Is that canon?
No.
I think they left it blank for a reason. Anyway, yeah, so that's my issue with Delilah. Was she really marked by the outsider? I personally don't think she actually was. Or else, Yeah, I know. What's your proof? She wears gloves? What if she's a germaphobe? She could be, but her personality wouldn't let her.
She's a coven of witches that literally lives in dirt. She's not a germaphobe. Thank you.
Well, yeah, okay. And let's not forget about her 6-year-old mentality. If you go up to Jessamine's tower, what are you gonna see? Memorial. What are you gonna see?
You liar! You broke it!
You broke it, and I will know the truth. That's something a 6-year-old will do, so why the fuck would she not just flaunt the outsider's mark everywhere?
She is literally 6.
Well, yeah, she is. Alright, so NewlifeOP signing out. Bye, guys! Say goodbye!
Bye!
Oh, you're terrible.